Here we go! This is it! Here we go! This is it! This is it, I say! Desperate attempts to make the final episode start off with a bang aside. Yes, this is it, the final clash. Except unless you include all the bonus episodes that came with the CD version, in which case it's not the final clash. But I can't promise I'll actually do those. So for the sake of argument, this is the final clash. Now, I always find the final levels in a video game take on a certain grandeur automatically just because they're all, it's the final clash, man. It's like time runs short. Everything you do becomes kind of heavy and definitive when the end of the game is nigh. And I feel like games have more gravitas in that direction, just purely by virtue of how they take longer to deal with than movies and stuff, Movies, you pretty much just gotta sit still for 2 hours. Like, there's no great achievement there. So you don't get that automatic gravitas of just the end of a long journey, quite in the same way. Maybe at the end of a trilogy of movies, and like maybe at the end of Lord of the Rings or something. You get near the end of Lord of the Rings and you can feel the grandeur of an epic trilogy ending. Well, those movie guys are missing out on the wonderful feeling of getting near the end of a game and feeling your steps grow heavy as you'll reach the summit. And also, you really can destroy these spike balls. I'm not just messing around here. I'm pretty sure I can destroy yeah, there we go. Look at the lovely no animation they prepared for when the balls get destroyed. Yeah, in many ways, Jackrabbit is kind of I don't want to say crude game, but it could be more polished. It could be kind of more poised, There's things like it doesn't actually have the parallax layers that Sonic did. I mean, I was going to talk about the mountains outside there as well, but like up above, the mountains don't really have the parallax layers that maybe they wanted to have or were trying to emulate. So in some ways this game is a bit of a poor man's Sonic wannabe, but you know what? It was my poor man's Sonic wannabe, and it was all we had back then, so screw you. And also, we've now established that there's a bug in this game where you can get those rapid fires, save, load your game, and you'll still have the rapid fires, and you can go and collect them again. So I could actually technically leave this first level with maxed out rapid fire, and wouldn't that be cool? But I'm not going to do that because I can't be bothered. Remember this game being harder or something? Maybe it's easier with a joypad, or maybe I was just young and reckless, and I've mentioned this before. I'm not going to go over again, but yeah, there is a bit of a problem in these fast games with quite often actually the smartest thing to do is not be fast after all, and just be careful. Oh dear. And you see, we are so often reckless with our lives. When you've got full health, getting hit doesn't seem like a big deal, but then as soon as getting hit is actually going to have some consequences, that's when it comes in. Oh, Jesus, I say. There we go. Okay. Carrots, please. Thank you. Thank you for the carrots. Unseen hand. The invisible hand has granted me carrots. A blessing from the Lord. A what? That sort of precise jumpery isn't conducive to the way Jazz controls. How dare you? Yeah, those actually, I was going to talk more extensively about that one guy. Ken, show that one guy again down there. It's kind of too late now. I'll have to use the footage. No! You saw what happened. Okay, Ken, go back to the footage. I think you might have had to cut away from that. Where I was like, yeah, that one guy is about the one place in the whole game where you more or less have to switch weapons. Otherwise, you'll get hit. Like, pretty much everywhere else, the weapons all feel a bit, I don't know, unnecessary somehow. But that one guy, Ken, you know where the guy is, right? You remember all that, where that guy is. That one guy forces you to switch weapons. Pretty much. I don't really know any clever way of getting past him. Yeah. It's not perfect, this game. It does feel sort of good when you're running forward and shooting stuff the way the game is sort of intended to be played. Yeah, those guys could certainly use launchers. The way they position these annoying little mutant linguini things is, actually, no, yeah, actually this game, this level, rather, has kind of intelligent positioning of the baddies. They're positioned in interesting ways. Oh, you know, I was gonna say I can't be bothered with the stars. Yeah, actually the stars are kind of annoying, but how am I supposed to get those stars and then also land back on the platform without this all becoming tedious and annoying? Just, that's, I don't know, dudes. There's this kind of missteps, I think. Boing, boing, boing. Okay, how do I, seriously, how do I... There we go, there we go. Because I do like to collect everything. I'm kind of a thoroughness guy. You know, I'm wondering if maybe I should just, not collect everything and... Yeah, I think, screw this. They didn't do it right, it's not my fault. They didn't necessarily design this game the best way, so... Sucks to be them. I think, anyway... I ought to talk about the things that are going on. I've got some new furniture. It's amazing how getting stuff like new furniture, it seems mundane, but it does kind of make you feel better when you're in the room, you know? Like, you know how in The Sims, when you get better furniture, it upgrades your room score and it makes your Sims happier inside the room. Oh, that's kind of real, I think. You get new stuff and it does feel good. And it just means my DVDs are displayed properly now, you know? Oh, son of a biscuit. Yeah, my DVDs are displayed properly now. It's a minor thing, but it just all enhances your overall enhance your calm, John Spartan, as they say. Actually, they're giving me launchers. They seem to realise that launchers are going to be useful around here. It almost makes you wish they would have had more use for the ammo types, if it's only just coming in now, but anyway. Where was I? Yeah, like, just my DVDs are all... Because they used to be just piled up on the dresser, you know? It was a bit makeshift. And the piles were getting bigger and bigger, and now it's all nice. It's partly because I've got more money these days, and I was able to buy the box set of Twin Peaks. Oh man, it's been a while since I've made a jazz Let's Play, so there's actually kind of a lot of news to impart. I've watched all of old Twin Peaks now. It's definitely strange and wonderful and worth watching. I think I'm a big fan of David Lynch now. He is awesome. Some people might think he's just pretentious and weird, but nah, I think he's actually awesome. Also, I'm going to get a new table and a new bookcase, probably. Might manage to sell the old stuff, we'll see. Blah. So few items. I don't know. I liked how the enemies worked on that level, but the whole item collecting game was pretty subpar, and yet it does depend a lot on whether I collect them. What can I say? I like to win. That's a fairly rare occasion, I think, where running at full speed and then jumping is actually required to do something. Talk about neat, huh? It's like using Jazz's abilities to unlock bits of the environment or something, and it's like they designed this game. Yeah, if you've been playing the Listen to Ken Talk About Stuff drinking game, that is a solid drink there. Yeah, I had a friend... I was playing this back when I was 12 in school, I think, and I had a friend come over and say these baddies are mutant linguini. I'm not even sure what linguini is. Is it the pasta things that are little sort of pasta packets of... You can have, like, spinach and ham and stuff in there. It's possible he didn't really know his pasta at that age, to be honest. Oh, the spiky balls. Spiky balls are big and tough. Spiky balls are big and tough, and no spiky balls are big enough. Spiky and round the swing in the circle. I'm thinking of Milky Bar adverts, by the way. Old-ass Milky Bar adverts from... How's the Milky Bar kid doing, I wonder? I haven't really watched TV in a long time, so I would not know about how the Milky Bar kid is doing these days. They replaced Captain Birdseye with this kind of sexy captain for a while. Oh, this is tricky. This is tricky. Actually, this is quite neat. I must have spent ages on the keyboard just working out the melodies in this game, and most of my early games. This was how I learned about musical stuff. I was talking about this with my brother, actually. Like, me and him had a weird musical upbringing. Like, we did not really listen to mainstream stuff much at all. Like, all we really had was an old cassette tape of Flanders and Swan. And unless you're kind of middle class and boring, don't even look up Flanders and Swan particularly. It's not cool, internet friendly at all. But anyway, just Flanders and Swan, kind of old-timey songs. And 2 tapes of the Corries, who were, I don't know, sort of Scottish musicians of some kind, who also did old-timey songs. But we didn't get any of the mainstream stuff, you know? We didn't know nothing about Black Sabbath or something cool. So I think we were it was a bit weird on that level. And most of the mainstream stuff we did encounter, like, I didn't hear Nirvana watching Top of the Pops or something. I got these MIDI versions of these things from, because we were busy making games back in the day on Click and Play and Games Factory and things, and we would get MIDI versions of these, and they would have MIDI names that were kind of mysterious. Like, it was the times when they just barely had more than 8 letters for file names, you know? Some of you all may not even remember the days when there was a limited number of characters for file names. You could only have 8 characters in DOS. And then Windows arrived, and sometimes the file names would have kind of a tilde and a 1 on the end, and it was messy figuring out what you were listening to unless you already knew what it was. There wasn't a lot of information floating around about that. Come on, you. Oh, no, it's not. It must have died somehow. So anyway, I would listen to, like, Cowboys from Hell or something, except it was a MIDI version, so I didn't know what Pantera was or any of... Oh, okay, sure, that makes sense. Ken, show that again. I know they probably saw it, but just show how little that makes sense. See? You see? It didn't make sense. So anyway, just retroactively I realised we've had kind of a weird musical upbringing. And my brother is trying to get away from that now. He's raising his child hearing Meatloaf and things early on. And you know, when he grows up he may well think that Meatloaf is boring, but at least we tried and it wasn't old cassette tapes, you know?
Woohoo! Will Ken ever escape the influence of old cassette tapes? And how will he fare in Chrysalis? Ah, ha 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 ha!